2023 was big for new generations of handhelds. Everybody was trying to make one, and naturally some of them were good and some were better. And here's my rundown of 6 devices used away from home and ranked from the worst to the best from the viewpoint of a daily commuter and traveler. Because as it turns out, handhelds in 2023 were not as mobile as we would like them to be.
Roman does consumer tips.
Before we go any further, here's a quick note. I will focus only on big brands with official support in North America for this video, so no devices like Aya Neo, I hope I pronounce it right, because they're not quite playing in the big league here yet. And as usual, if you would like to buy any of the devices we discussed today, please do use sponsored links in the description. This will help us run the channel at no cost to you. And of course, your likes, comments and subs are not just appreciated, they're like high fives to us and highly encouraged. So don't wait until the end, just click all the buttons now, get some tea going and let's roll into it. This elusive creature vanishes faster than cookies at kids' party when it hits store shelves. Yet, this device has so little going on for it, it's practically a tech fossil the moment you buy it. Yep, this is PlayStation Portal, the true bottom feeder of this handheld biome. To be fair, it shouldn't be on this list, as it's shameful how Sony milks their ponies. Yet, here we are. But seriously, you can pair your cell phone with a decent controller or backbone controller and voila! A better PlayStation Portal plus a neat $150 back in your pocket. As expected, it has no ergonomics. Just look at the ergonomics. It's impossible to hold it straight, and you will not want to because this thing has some weight. Without saying, it's good for self-defense too. I mean, you can use it like a nunchuck. Screen resolution and latency are bearable and makes it impossible to play competitive games due to extremely long thumbsticks. Sony, what are you compensating for here? In fact, Sony got so out of control they even locked Bluetooth to their own proprietary wireless headsets because Sony boys will just buy any garbage Sony sells. No questions asked. So at the end of the day, you can only play slow-paced games and in comfort of your own toilet, because it can be used only as a clock away from your PlayStation 5. If you want to hear the full story of this PlayStation Portal, check the link up here. And Sony, congrats on this rare worst device of 2023 achievement. Well deserved. This next contestant has managed to do better with their first console. Better than Godzilla of gaming. It's Logitech G Cloud. Honestly, I was expecting this console to die in 2023, but they still sell it and it has good reviews. Maybe because, unlike PlayStation Portal, Logitech tried and they let you use your mediocre tablet as a tablet. Yes, the screen resolution is more of a meh, and it's easily replaceable with a phone or a real tablet. Same as with PlayStation Portal, or technically anything that can stream games from one of many streaming platforms. Laggy performance, full dependence on internet, and the price tag of $350. Ouch. With that price tag, I feel like it can only compete against PlayStation Portal for the Worst Device Award. But something went wrong and PlayStation won that. So if I got you curious, check out this review up here. And by the way, if I'm being too harsh to your favorite device throughout this review, and it's making you upset, there are comments made just for that, so let the chaos begin. Just type it in. We're finally in the territory of some serious gaming. It's so close yet so far category of our list. I was having a hard time assigning this spot to this particular device, as it's really a borderline between 3rd and 4th place. And it's ROG Ally. Whoa, stop, cool down. Let me explain. Cool down, we're all adults here, violence is not the answer. Hear me out. ROG Ally was one of the first devices that came out straight after SteamDeck, and it seems like they're trying to marry SteamDeck design with Windows PC muscle.
Now there was a guy who had it all. The build, the foot speed, he could jam, he could take a hit, he could keep on coming.
But the battery life is its Achilles heel.
Flatter than a discus. None of them could go the distance.
In this particular case. But before getting to the batteries, let's look at the overall specs. A stunning 7-inch 120 FPS variable refresh rate screen that supports native landscape gaming, powerful processor options, but only 1.5 to 2 hours of AAA gameplay? That's interesting. Fine, round it up to 2 hours of gameplay, but that's still nothing for a gaming device in 2024. And when it comes to commuting, you have to have your power bank and your charger handy at all times. Even when you browse Ally's gaming community, they suggest dropping down the power consumption by lowering your FPS, your brightness, processor and fan speeds, and practically anything else you can turn down to make it last half an hour longer. To me, that's like having a muscle car with a tiny gas tank. But hey, it's still better than G-Cloud and PlayStation 5 Portal, as you are not chained to your Wi-Fi signal, and Ally is definitely on a compact side among the rest of today's contestants. Overall, I think it's a great concept, but not quite hitting the mark on portability. So I wonder what 2024 version will look like. You, right there. What do you think they need to change to make it better? Let's talk in the comments and smash that subscribe button already. I feel like we have some chemistry going on here. This next contestant has removable Joy-Cons, and it's not Nintendo Switch. That's Lenovo Legion Go. It's like Lenovo took a good look at Nintendo's playbook and pumped it up. They definitely copied the flap at the back and, of course, got inspired by Joy-Cons. So I have no idea how they pulled that off, as I'm pretty sure Nintendo lawyers must be studying them as we speak. But Legion decided to go further and added FPS mode to Joy-Cons. Some future tech right there, paired with easy replacements. It's practically a Nintendo Switch running Windows on steroids. Just look at this thing. Huge 8.8-inch screen, QHD resolution crisp images, and a whopping 144 FPS. None of the other contestants on this list have that. However, due to this, it may struggle with some of the older games, unlike Rog Ally, for example, which has native landscape display support. And there are only a handful of devices that have that natively. If this is the first time you're hearing about it, you can learn more from this video by Phawx, right here or in the description. Now, since you need to feed this thick beauty, the battery is larger than what you get with ROG Ally or SteamDeck, and just like with those two, the battery plays the main villain role in this movie. Though you still get roughly an additional 30 minutes of gameplay, making it playable for 2 to 3 hours on average versus 1.5 to 2 hours on average with ROG Ally. And to get that time, as you guessed it, you've got to dial down as many fancy features as you can. Many reviewers feel like VRR would improve it further, but look at ROG Ally. It still dies faster despite having it. If you disagree, let's talk in the comments. I read all of them. Nevertheless, this thick boy sits tight in your hands like a real controller, and it's super comfortable. Yet when it comes to portability, its size means you'll need a bigger backpack, especially if you plan on using it with its original case. That's how big it is. So technically it's more of a handheld gaming PC than a console, and since it runs on Windows 11, you can in fact use it as a laptop with a portable keyboard and run any Windows application. I also like that they got 2 USB-C ports and both of them are Thunderbolt 4. And speaking of USB-C ports, the top one was provisioned for Legion glasses. I have a separate review of this coming out soon, so make sure you like this video and sub to my channel to get notified when it comes out. But overall, I feel like Legion Go is a mixed bag of candy with its own charms. I'm really hoping they will improve it further in 2024, but for now it's only 3rd place on this list due to battery life and its size, making it hard to travel with. I feel like many would argue that Legion Go should be taking the 2nd place. However, when it comes to AAA gaming at low power consumption settings and better portability due to somewhat smaller size, without any doubt, the refreshed SteamDeck OLED proudly takes this place. And if you manage to snatch the limited edition like mine over here, it looks even better than what you get with the original one. Going back to the Phawx video I mentioned earlier, he shows FPS comparison at lower power consumption settings for SteamDeck versus Legion Go. It starts at higher point and becomes consistent at lower power ranges, unlike what you see with Legion. And if you're curious, this is what Legion Go looks like versus Rog Ally. As a result, though SteamDeck OLED runs on a smaller battery and overall is weaker than Legion Go across all parameters, it's capable of competing with Legion Go due to better performance and image quality at lower wattage. Having Linux as operating system is a plus too in this particular scenario, as it has less bloatware than, for example, Windows, and entire UI feels smooth and optimized to the task, while with Legion and Ally you run a small-size, power-hungry Windows PC. So how is the battery life on SteamDeck OLED? Well, as usual, it depends, but on average you're able to get 2.5 to 3.5 hours of AAA gameplay without sacrificing too many FPS or game performance. Yet, if you are into competitive online games that use anti-cheat, Fortnite for example, then you may want to stick to Legion Go, since Linux has no support for anti-cheat, and installing games from other sources than Steam library is on the edge of advanced wizardry and pure luck. Of course, there are workarounds such as running Fortnite through streaming services directly from your internet browser, but have you seen wait times? 3 hours? Really? Another solution would be to have a dual boot and get Windows installed, but that's a whole new story. So if your game is not available from Steam library today, there might be some issues. Consider yourself warned. But overall, a solid second place. Do you agree? Since CES is happening right now in Vegas, MSI has just announced their own handheld, MSI Claw. If it's as good as it's presented by Dave 2D, it might move this entire list one position down once released, because that device has a sleek body and large battery. But until I get it in my hands, it is what it is. Alright, so this one is not the latest, but one of the greatest consoles made in the last 10 years. This is Undisputed King of portable gaming, Nintendo Switch OLED. Let me explain. In 2024, if you are traveling, this console will give you, on average, 7 hours of gameplay without any need to tweak any settings. Well, maybe brightness and maybe airplane mode, but other than that, it's good to go straight out of the box. Also, if you want to get new games while on the go, you just pop by any store and buy it. With all the other consoles we discussed today, it's impossible to install a physical game, and if you ever tried downloading a modern game over a hotel Wi-Fi, you will know that takes at least a day. Switch, on the other hand, offers both a physical and digital library of games, with many cross-platform titles available alongside exclusive ones. So it's like having a Swiss Army knife of handhelds in your pocket. Of course, when it comes to graphics, you won't get crisp QHD image like with Legion Go, but you will be able to play your console without a charger across many flights. And since it's so compact, commuting or traveling is not an issue for Switch when it comes to space, as it fits into a pocket while in a case. And I have a pretty thick case for it as well. So far, I've done 4 flights with 3 of these consoles, and every time Switch was the main preference to pull out in the cabin. But if you don't own one, don't rush to buy it, as there are rumors of Nintendo Switch 2 to be announced sometime by the end of this year, which, according to those same rumors, will be as powerful as PlayStation 4. I think that's well worth the wait. So there you have it. Agree, disagree? Let's hash it out in the comments, and remember, like, share and subscribe for +1 to your karma. And before you flip your desk on me, remember that gaming is a very personal matter, and even PlayStation Portal has people who love it and whom I'll never understand. But anyhow, as long as your device meets your needs, it's golden for you. No need for violence, Sony fans. On this note, I'll see you in the next video. Godspeed. And if you're wondering what to watch next, you may wanna check out these videos on the side. You'll have fun there. Just get some tea. So much fun. Press it.